Wow, huge breaking NFL news coming out now on a Friday night here. Geno Smith being traded to the Las Vegas Raiders. Let's freaking go. This is awesome. I really like this pickup, this acquisition for the Raiders here. All they're trading away is a third-round pick, and funny enough, it's the third-round pick that they got in exchange for Devontae Adams. Geno Smith is a humongous upgrade over what they currently had on their roster coming into this season. Geno's an upgrade over what they had last season. He reunites with Pete Carroll. Geno Smith's a great fit in Chip Kelly's offense. Although I do feel like they're really going to try to get back to the ground game. I would not be surprised whatsoever if the Raiders target a running back either in round 1 or round 2 here. Man, the Raiders, yes, of course, they have some team needs, but you really feel like Pete Carroll, culture changer, culture builder. Chip Kelly, former head coach, right? They were able to retain Pat Graham, which I thought was huge. And of course, Tom Brady, coming in as minority owner. The Raiders are really trying to make some stuff happen here. And I would much rather see the Raiders go down this path compared to paying Sam Darnold like $40 million on like this huge deal. Geno's more consistent and Geno's more proven. I feel like we know exactly what we're going to get from Geno Smith, someone who's going to take care of the football, complete passes at a high clip. He's going to come in and understand the offense. I mean, man, how many teams, how many different OCs has he been a part of throughout the course of his career? A ton. Now, I think really the big question here, the Raiders got to get some. I got Raiders black on. Ironically enough, but they got to get Geno some help, some more offensive weapons. Again, whether that's a running back. And if there's any Raiders fans watching this, let me know your thoughts with Ashton Jeanty at 6. Is that too high in your opinion? Or because I've seen the mock drafts, right? Ashton Jeanty, spot number 6. And although I do feel like it would really help this football team, I'm kind of thinking maybe pivot, target a different position, maybe argue BPA, and then come back in the later rounds, maybe the mid rounds, and go with Judkins or Henderson from Ohio State to repair back up with Chip Kelly here. That would be kind of my plan of attack. But Jeanty is, I would say, the better running back. So I don't know. I feel like Ted McMillan makes a ton of sense for the Raiders, although people are saying his stock is going to fall. But here's the great news, right? You're parting ways with a third rounder. You get your answer at the quarterback position. You get someone who is going to be comfortable within this system and is, someone who, again, I would say is pretty consistent on taking care of the football. And you still have so much cap space left over. Now, I'm interested to see if Geno Smith re-ups on a new deal. And, kind of looking at the broad scope of the NFL, what's the ripple effect here? Well, obviously, it doesn't really impact the Tennessee Titans or the Cleveland Browns all that much, right? The teams up at the top of the draft. The New York Giants too, even. But you kind of, you're just listening to the rumblings, the rumors around football. A lot of people were linking Sam Darnold to the Raiders. I personally couldn't get behind that. I just didn't like the fit. I just did not like the fit. So now where does Darnold go? Does Darnold end up in Seattle? Do the Giants pay Darnold? Supposedly like $30 to $40 million a season for Sam. I just feel like it's too much at this point. And again, if you're a Raider fan, you're comparing, okay, who would you rather have, Darnold or Geno? I think Geno, although he's a little bit older, I feel like he's going to be, someone that you can maybe rely on a little bit more, especially in those big moments. But here's the question, right? What did the Seattle Seahawks do? Where do the Seahawks pivot? I'm going to assume, well, I can't really even assume anything, but, you're looking at the available options. Justin Fields, Sam Darnold, potentially trading up in the NFL draft. Are they maybe a QB suitor at the, mid to bottom portion of round 1? I would doubt that. I just don't really like that fit for Seattle. I think, with Lockett on his way out, DK Metcalf potentially being traded, now Geno on the way out, it kind of feels like it's like a soft reset, not this full-blown, hey, we're rebuilding from the ground up. But year 2, Mike McDonald, they have some young pieces. I just don't necessarily know. I don't know. Seattle, they're in a weird spot. They're in a really weird spot because they're a good football team. They have really good coaches. But now they have some pretty big holes that they got to fill. Maybe they have kind of that let's get out from underneath some of these deals 1 year early to maybe, or to maybe take one step backwards to take 2 steps forward in the future. Maybe that's the approach. Who knows? But anyway, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Oh, and as far as, of course, the New York Jets here, I don't really think it impacts them all that much. Actually, okay. Follow-up report here. It's looking like the Seattle Seahawks are going to be targeting Sam Darnold. So, yeah, I really don't think it's going to impact the Jets all that much. The only way I can really see it impacting the Jets is if maybe Fields was eyeing the Raiders and Fields maybe prefers the Jets over the Steelers, but that's a lot of assuming. And what happens if Shedeur starts to slip? I would say there's probably still a chance that he goes at 6, but definitely a lot lower of a chance, a lot lower of a percentage now with Geno in the mix. Again, I'm not going to rule it out completely. I don't think it's 50-50, but I still think it's in play. Do you opt for that developmental quarterback in Shedeur, right? Stash him behind Geno Smith, who a lot of people have compared Shedeur Sanders to. We've heard Tom Brady talking about he doesn't like young quarterbacks playing. I think the Raiders did a brilliant move. Shout out to Spytech. Shout out to Pete Carroll. All these guys that made it happen. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Thanks so much. And as always, go Jets. Enjoy your Friday.